This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. U.S. payrolls grew by leaps and bounds last month. The January jobs report shows 467,000 positions added. That's up from 199,000 the week before. Many were in leisure, hospitality, retail, and transportation. Words to the wise from CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Economists warn much into this 1 month. The reason? The Omicron variant.
Unemployment was up just a touch in January to 4%. Fireworks over Beijing. President Xi has just declared the Winter Olympics officially open. This year's games are controversial. The U.S., Australia, Canada, and the U.K. have not sent envoys to protest China's alleged human rights abuses. Xi met with President Putin today. The two men declared no limits to ties between their countries. In the U.S., ice is raining down on parts of the Northeast right now. Powerful winter storm that swept the nation's midsection has moved into parts of New York and New England. Jonathan Gulliver with Massachusetts Department of Transportation.
We are really worried that people are going to be deceived by seeing wet pavement only to find out that it's ice. So this is one of these scenarios where the faster you go, the worse it's going to get.
Power out to more than 300,000 customers from Texas to Pennsylvania. Company News Corp is reporting it's been the target of a persistent cyber attack. It says it's affected a limited number of email accounts from Dow Jones and others. In Minneapolis, police cam video captures a black man being shot to death inside an apartment. Officers entered on a warrant and kicked the couch where 22-year-old Amir Locke lay under a blanket, revealing a gun in his hand. WCCO Radio's Al Shock.
Activist Nakima Levy-Armstrong was appointed to Mayor Jacob Fry's Public Safety Commission and took over the podium during last night's press conference.
We don't want to see cover-ups. We don't want to see whitewashing. People are asking very simple questions that have still not been answered.
Police are now saying Locke was not the subject of the search warrants. One question that could not be answered last night: why was Locke referred to as a suspect in the city's original statement on the shooting?
University of Alabama is adding the name of its first black student to a building already named after a former member of the KKK. CBS's Linda
Graves Hall after two-term Democratic Alabama Governor Bibb Graves, who also happened to be a grand cyclops in the KKK. The new name, Lucy Graves Hall, in honor of authorin Lucy Foster. She attended just 3 days of classes in 1956 when riots broke out.
S&P futures down 27. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
With this week's Spirit in 60, I'm Joey Batano. Well, another busy week ahead for the Saginaw Spirit, coming off of a big win against division rival Flint on Sunday afternoon. The Spirit tied a season high with 7 goals, knocking off the Firebirds by a score of 7-5. The Spirit hit the road Tuesday to take on the Sarnia Sting before returning home Wednesday night to take on the Flint Firebirds. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:05. Tickets are available to students and military with proper identification, courtesy of Reader Landscaping. The Spirit returned home this weekend to take on the Erie Otters on Saturday night and Sunday early evening. Puck drop at 7:05 Saturday night for Mary Free Bread Night in partnership with Covenant Healthcare. Puck drop Sunday is at 5:30 p.m. For tickets and more information, log on to SaginawSpirit.com and don't forget to visit us at our new store at 6321 State Street. For this week's Spirit in 60, I'm Joey Batano.
Exergen would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
It's 5. Good morning. I'm Dave Maurer. A fatal snowmobile crash happened last night. At approximately 8:15 p.m., Saginaw County deputies were sent to the Grabowski Road west of South Fordney Road in Fremont Township for a single snowmobile crash. The snowmobile was being ridden by 59-year-old Daniel Liebrock of Fremont Township. Liebrock was westbound on Grabowski when he lost control in the curves, leaving the roadway, and was thrown into a wooded area, striking a cluster of trees. MMR was called and transported Liebrock to the hospital. While on the way there, Liebrock went into cardiac arrest and was pronounced deceased despite life-saving efforts. Liebrock was riding a 1995 Arctic Cat and was wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. Michigan will go over 2 million confirmed cases of the coronavirus. Numbers come out this afternoon. However, cases and the positivity rate have been dropping from the latest surge. New information from the state health department this week says all regions of the state are seeing a drop in positivity and case rates along with hospitalizations. Models also suggest the state is at or near the peak for cases of the Omicron variant. Thousands of kids have a long weekend as dozens of schools have closed for a third day in southern lower Michigan. Superintendents say road conditions don't make it safe for buses to run. Most of the school closings are south and east of Saginaw. In a State of the County address yesterday, Saginaw County Commission Board Chair Carl Ruth lauded the county health department's work over the past year, dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic for the second year in a row. The department has had to manage ever-changing information and guidelines from state and federal health officials, all while keeping track of the coronavirus's peaks and surges and trying to get the residents to get vaccinated. Ruth praised the efforts of the department.
Recognized statewide for collaborative COVID-19 responses, partnering with more than 20 other organizations to safeguard Saginaw, launching county largest ever drive-through vaccination event at the Dow Center, mobilizing to vaccinate in all corners of the county, more than 35 locations.
The department was also responsible for what Ruth calls nonstop guidance to schools, businesses, and the public. 2021 was a year of unity and hard work, according to Saginaw Mayor Brenda Moore in her State of the City address. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
Noting the immense impact the community coming together had after an outbreak of violent crimes last summer, Mayor Moore says hard work by the Saginaw Police Department should not go unrecognized.
Dealing with negative stories in police and law enforcement, I'm proud to highlight the work of the Saginaw Police Department. They did not waver in their commitment to protect the citizens.
Ahead to 2022, Mayor Moore says the city can expect work to ramp up on ARPA fund allocation with several professional financial opinions already taken in its newly created advisory committee fully appointed as of City Council's last gathering, and local infrastructure improvements after time spent last year passing a number of projects and equipment purchases needed to do them. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 9:08.
Your day starts before the sun rises. Once your boots hit the ground, you head out to a field, a barn, or a tractor. As stewards of the land, you know anything worth doing is worth doing right. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we've always believed in and practiced this same philosophy. From heaving bales and weaning calves to spring seeding and fall harvests, it's all about an honest day's work. Knowing your insurance provider is rooted in Michigan offers comfort. Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Find your coverage in Vassar, Millington, and Mayville. Call Denny Miller at 989-823-8493.
WSGW News Time, 9:09. A Genesee County Sheriff's Sergeant pleaded not guilty to drunk driving and carrying a firearm while intoxicated. Sergeant Demetta Reeves is accused of crashing an unmarked patrol vehicle into the median wall on I-475 and Massachusetts Avenue in Flint on January 8th. Her blood alcohol level was 0.25 at the time of the crash, considered super drunk in Michigan. Legally drunk is 0.08. Reeves had department-issued handguns and a personal handgun in the car at the time of the crash, February 14th. The City of Midland will start accepting applications on Monday for gardening plots at the Circle Community Garden, located at the intersection of Edwin and Cambridge Streets. Registration will be accepted online or in person at the Parks and Recreation Office on North Saginaw Road. Cost for a garden plot is $35, which is non-refundable. Plots sell out quickly and are sold on a first-come, first-served basis. The garden holds 30 plots. Gardeners who secure a plot will receive a prepared planting bed for growing fruits, vegetables, herbs, or flowers. Gardeners will be responsible for purchasing their own plant material, doing their own planting, and handling the summer maintenance, including watering and weeding. Visit Midland's website for more information. Ford workers will be getting a lot more in profit sharing than they did last year. Details, MNN's Jeff Gilbert.
The profit-sharing checks will average $7,377 for Chief Financial Officer John Lawler. Very strong performance here in North America.
The team worked extremely hard this year, given the COVID crisis and what we saw with the chips. And it's about double what it was last year, and I think our team earned every dollar of it. I'm very pleased for them.
The bottom line profit, $17.9 billion, boosted by a big gain from Ford's Rivian stake. Pre-tax earnings of $10 billion, near where Ford's guidance was. Ford expecting to boost earnings by about 15 to 25% this year.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9/11. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly cloudy for today. Temperatures hold steady for the most part in the region. Winds turn to the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, chance for snow before midnight, then some clearing. Lows drop to 3 above. Winds will be fairly light. Saturday, an abundance of sunshine. Highs warm into Saturday night. It becomes mostly cloudy. Lows fall back to 14. Looking into Sunday, it remains mostly cloudy. Highs reach 30. Sunday night, still mostly cloudy. Lows head down to 17. Then highs rebound to the upper 20s with more cloud cover on Monday. I'm Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 5 above.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you, and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show for a Friday morning, our new Friday format where we have open lines at 9 o'clock and a consumer show at 10. And this morning's consumer show will feature our show sponsor, Linda Shephard at Pinnacle Realty, on how to buy and sell homes. All of that coming up. We'll look at the marketplace with her. At 11 o'clock this morning on Focus, we're going to focus on an event coming up called the Rat Pack Gala. And all of that is ahead. But for this hour, open phones as I broadcast from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio, brought to you by Linda Shephard at Pinnacle Realty. Put it to work for you at 989-295-7713. Or stop in and visit her at The Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw, the former ISD location. Inside there, you'll find Cafe 476 with its delicious soups and beverages and foods, all waiting for you. So again, our phone number is 989-752-6111 from almost anywhere because they don't charge you long distance and roaming. We do have a Michigan toll-free, though, at 866-790-WSGW. A couple of things caught my eye in the news. First of all, a follow-up to what we chatted about a little bit yesterday. Jim Harbaugh apparently sat down with Mitch Albom at the Detroit Free Press and insists, this is good news, I guess, for the Wolverines. He insists he is a Wolverine for good and wants to win it all. He said, quote, "In a nutshell, I love Michigan," unquote. "I love every player. I love every family." When he was asked why he flew to Minneapolis to talk about the head coaching job, "There was a tugging at me that I was once close to a Super Bowl and didn't get it. some NFL jobs came open. I was contacted by the Minnesota Vikings, for better or worse. I at least wanted to explore it. But as he says, he is a Wolverine for good, which means now they will have to sit down and negotiate a new contract because his old one had expired, which I'm sure the school is going to do, and I'm sure he'll do very well in that new contract. Here's another headline caught my attention. We've talked about this in the past, and it just, I just love the way the headline was written. Some headlines really catch you, you know. This headline says, Michelle Obama, Democrats 2024 break glass in case of emergency candidate. You all seen those little fire boxes, those fire alarms where you break the glass, you pull it, or you break the glass, you get out the axe or whatever. Well, there she is, Michelle Obama, Democrats 2024, quote, break glass in case of emergency, unquote, candidate. Now, she has said on numerous occasions that she does not have an interest in the presidency. But who knows? The Democrats look like they're in trouble in 2024, and it's way too early to know that. They still have to get through 2022. But if they look like they're in trouble, and if she looks like the saving grace, you can bet there will be a ton of pressure put on her. Now, when you talk about 2024, we also have the Republicans to look at. No guarantees there. Many are saying, they're speculating that it's going to be Trump versus DeSantis in the end. And that could be a brutal battle. A close second, Vice President Kamala Harris. Her her lackluster performance is not helping. And it all is also going to depend on whether Biden seeks another term. Who knows? I think what you're going to see over the next several months, maybe a year, I think, and we'll see what happens, but I think you're going to see a lot more of Kamala Harris. I think she's going to become a media darling, and they're going to keep her in the forefront. Even though her approval ratings are in the tank, I think some of the media folks think they can prop her up and make her look good for the presidential election. And she's run before, so it's not without reality that she could run again. But the headline, Michelle Obama, Democrats 2024, break glass in case of emergency candidate, I just thought was precious because it's very possible, maybe even probable, that they will have to break that glass and go after Michelle Obama. She's popular. Obviously not with diehards from the other side of the aisle. But as a general principle, she's popular. And the Democrats know that. She knows it too. But she has tried to ward off the speculation by saying that she had no interest in it and wouldn't run. But as I said, in the world of politics, there are no givens. There's a lot of maybes and there's a lot of speculation, but there are no givens. It is not a given that Joe Biden will run again. It is not a given that Donald Trump will run again. So never say never when it comes to politics. The pressure to bear can be enormous. And the political pundits that run these things know how to do it. They know how to get someone interested. So while I take her at her word that she is not interested in running for president, I do not remove her from the conversation because of the nature of the beast. All right. Lines open, whatever you'd like to chat about. Give us a call this morning here on WSGW, The Art Lewis Show, and we'll be back.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar. Pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals going on right now from Nom Nom Ninja, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique. Half off? You bet. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. So good, you gotta try it. With Straight Talk, you can get our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month. Now with unlimited high-speed data, plus 5 gigabytes hotspot data, and no contract, with nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot for your data when you can get unlimited for a whole lot less? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The job market was dramatically better than expected in January. The number of new jobs created, 467,000. The forecast was for only 150,000. However, the unemployment rate rose to 4%. That may reflect more people entering the workforce. The labor force participation rate rose to 62.2% last month. Economists were expecting weaker growth because of the impact of the Omicron variant of COVID. Amazon shares are gaining after reporting earnings that nearly doubled in its holiday quarter. It was helped by its AWS cloud unit, its advertising business, and its investment in electric truck maker Rivian. Snap and Pinterest shares are also gaining on upbeat earnings. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Biden's massive spending plan has expanded America's money supply and taken money out of your pocket. But you can fight back against runaway inflation by sheltering your IRA or 401k with gold through Birch Gold Group. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I'm proud to be a customer of Birch Gold. Join me. Birch Gold has created a free info kit on protecting your retirement sheltered account. Just text the words shelter to 989898. Text shelter to 989898 and learn how to shelter your IRA or 401k with gold.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll, Super Bowl 56 prediction, Sunday, February 13th, 790 News Radio, WSW will broadcast Bowl 56 coverage. Starts with all the pregame at 2 p.m. Lions fans may have a special interest with former quarterback Matthew Stafford leading the way for the Los Angeles Rams. Lions fans also should take note. Just 2 years ago, the Bengals were the worst team in the NFL. We might have a couple of reasons that we like this game. I don't know.
It's good! The fairy tale continues for the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Rams, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Whole question is simple. What team do you want to win Super Bowl 56? Do you want the Bengals? Do you want the Rams? Do you want the Rams only because you are rooting for Matthew Stafford? You could also vote, I don't care. Head to WSW.com, scroll on the homepage, make your vote for Super Bowl LV. Doing so.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show,
it's the Friday 5, and it's going to be a little chilly. I'm going to put a sweater on before we do it.
Gonna bust out your mittens too.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back here on WSGW, and let's get to our phone. Shirley is waiting for us in Saginaw. Shirley, good morning.
Hi there. How are you doing?
We're doing well. How are you doing?
Good. I just wanted to comment. 42% of the Democrats are now watching Fox News. Hooray, hooray. And I don't think Michelle Obama's got a prayer, and I don't think she would take the job anyway. But I think the American people are sick of the Clintons, the Bidens, and all the other people, Feinstein, Pelosi, that are taking money from this country and selling it to the other countries.
Let me throw this at you just to see how you react. When you say you think the American people are sick of it, I would only agree that half are. The other half don't see it the way you see it or the way I see it. So you got to be a little careful when you say the American people, because Republicans don't speak for the American people, and Democrats don't speak for the American people. They speak for those that believe in what they believe in.
Yeah, there's a lot of diehard Democrats, but a lot of
and a lot of diehard Republicans, and you know, and that 42% that watch Fox, they're watching Tucker Carlson, is what the report was, which was really surprising. I really was taken a little back by that. It was interesting.
Yeah, well, I think the way the country in the year that we need to vote Republican and get them out of office so we can get some things done for the American people and get our freedom back.
Well, all you have to do is convince everybody else that you're right. And I think in the midterms, you probably have a pretty good shot at it. The presidential election is too far away.
You better believe it. One more thing. Go Stafford.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a softie for Stafford. That's and really, I could care less about either team winning. I'm more interested in seeing Stafford win.
I'm with you all the way, Art.
All right, Shirley. Thanks. Have a good one. Take
care.
Bye-bye now. And that opens the lines for you. No, I've always cautioned, and you have to be careful about this. When, you know, and I hear others do this all the time on the national stage, talk show hosts and others. The American people think, well, no, the American people are not unified in their thought. American people are very divided in their thought. So you can't say the American people are fed up with Biden, for example. That's not true. Half of them are, yeah. The other half, not so much. That's what makes a horse race. That's why politics is the way it is in this country. We have a two-party system, and they don't agree on much on the big issues. You know, actually, there's a lot that goes on in Washington you never hear about that is bipartisan. Everyday stuff that gets passed, put into law, and enacted for the benefit of the country. It happens all the time. You just don't hear about them because they're not controversial issues. They're small stuff, and they go about their business. It's the big issues where the division is most stark. And make no bones about it, the division is there. It's huge. It's gotten bigger. We are more divided, which even makes saying the American people even less accurate because of that division. Now, we were led to believe with the election of Joe Biden that we were going to become a unified country. And I think he's turned out to be as big a divider as anybody. And, you know, are we more united today than we were when Biden took office? No, we're not. Is Congress? No, certainly not. And he's done something else that most don't do. He hasn't moved to the center. He moved to the left. Because most pundits in Washington looked at Joe Biden when he was a senator for all those years as being a moderate liberal. He could talk to the other side. He had a lot of friends on the other side of the aisle, no doubt about it. But when he took office and became president, the progressives of the party got hold of him somehow, and Pelosi, and tried to move to the left. One of the reasons they want to give away the farm is because they think it means votes. Hand out the money and you'll get a vote. Well, at some point in time, the economy has to pay for that money. We're seeing it in inflation. And, you know, couple that with the fact that COVID created a lot of shortages. And then when the government started handing out the money, demand for products increased, which couldn't be met. And when you have a short supply and high demand, what happens? Prices go up. And we're all feeling that right now. All you have to do is go to the store, look at the empty shelves, and not all of them are empty, but there are more empty shelves than there have been in the past. But certainly prices are higher on almost everything you buy. I just, I don't know, 10 minutes ago he was finished. We got an oil delivery. We heat with oil in this house. $3.46 a gallon. Now, a couple of years ago, there were times it was under $2 a gallon. So everything has taken the hit, and particularly petroleum. Price of a barrel of oil topped $90. And pundits have said it's going to hit $100 again. When just a couple of years ago, it was at 40, sometimes less. So just hold on to your wallets. Not getting any better. Not right now. And as I've said many times in the past, we vote our pocketbooks. And don't you think the Democrats know it? But right now, their hands are tied. They've got one of their senators is sick, Lejean, and he is out for at least 4 weeks, which means the chance of getting anything from Biden's agenda passed in the Senate is nil. And there are those who say it might impact his choice for the Supreme Court. Now, I don't think that's necessarily true. And the reason I say that is that there are a number of people on the list that he's looking at that could be supported by some Republicans so they could overcome that one vote shortage. And you only need a majority, a simple majority, to confirm the Supreme Court justice. So it'll be interesting to watch. All right. Quick break. We come back. We'll get to Scott and Saginaw when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
I vaccinate because I want to protect my daughter.
I vaccinate because these diseases can be deadly.
Because of vaccines, we tend to think of diseases like whooping cough and measles as things of the past, but they aren't. Michigan's children still get them and pass them on. Get the whole story at ivaccinate.org.
I vaccinate because I got the facts.
Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, the Franny Strong Foundation, and the Association of Broadcasters.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the parent award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter depends on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter/free.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Rebound backhand by Wong. Another chance. They score! Sebastian Gervais, a hat trick.
Tune in. Spirit Hockey. The Spirit hosts the Erie Otters this weekend for a pair of home games. They'll have a Saturday night showdown with coverage starting at 6:50 p.m. And then both teams go back at it again on Sunday evening at 5:15. Both games can be heard on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. Great seats are still available, so visit SaginawSpirit.com for ticket information.
Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on WSGW.
You are in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. And let us get back to our phones. Scott is in Saginaw. Scott, good morning.
Hey, morning, Art. I'll just keep you a minute here. I'm going to get back on the hypocrisy of the left. I was watching the news this morning and how they're talking about Russia, or at least this administration says Russia is going to use propaganda and disinformation and videos to maybe help start a war. And I'm going, don't the Democrats already do this? They did it with Benghazi under Barack Obama. They said a video caused that. The Democrats used propaganda and misinformation against Judge Kavanaugh. The 2 impeachments were misdirection and bad information. Then you have Kyle Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman. All these were edited and made to look like these were the racist people. This is nothing new. The Democrat, this is their playbook. Misinformation, show you propaganda, and now there it is. They're already giving Russia the head start or the get-go to do what they need to do to start the war.
Yeah, the only thing about what you just said that I would say is all of that's true. The one that's really believable is Russia. They could be doing it. That I could be easily persuaded to see Russia doing that. It doesn't excuse all the rest you talked about. Don't get me wrong. But I'm
Well,
saying the
again-
one that's really plausible is Russia.
Oh, I don't put it past them. The Democrats worked with Russia in 2016.
Well, no, they're not working with
propaganda.
Russia on this one. This is Russia.
They're working with the propaganda. They're using it to their favor to bring fear or disinformation. That's what I mean. They're not actively combating what Russia is doing, but they're walking next to it, giving it credibility. And that's what the Democratic Party does. They did it in 2016. Hillary Clinton, James Comey, all of them helped out the propaganda that was supposedly Russia, and they walked right with it.
Yeah. All right.
And so that's all I'm saying. It's just their strategy. That's what they do. People need to pay attention. The Democrats will tell you one thing. Now, Joe Biden, he changed his messaging. It's no longer redirect funding from the police. Now he says, well, we're not going to defund them. But he didn't say they're still not going to redirect money. But all right, I'm just people just
Gotcha.
pay attention to how the Dems talk. All right, thanks.
Good enough. Take care. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Tom in Bay City. Tom, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Art. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Yeah, I'm just tuning in. I hope you didn't cover this. Did you talk about the job?
I'm sorry, the what? Say it again.
The jobs report from JE?
Have not.
The jobs report that just came out.
No, did not.
Okay, well, all the news was trending yesterday. Oh, gloom and doom, we're going to lose 300,000 jobs, and ADP had already confirmed that. Jobs report comes out today. We've gained almost 500,000 jobs. I'm just wondering, how could there be such a discrepancy? Yesterday, all these experts say one thing, and now the government comes out with the numbers today. It's like an 800,000 difference.
Well, that's what you get when pundits give you numbers. I mean, but also understand that the unemployment went up at the same time, which was not expected. The unemployment went up to 4%. So I don't, listen, I don't know where they get the numbers sometimes. For example, I'm going to ask you this. If we created 500,000 jobs, how many of those were replacements for jobs that were lost under COVID, and how many of them were brand new jobs? I don't know the answer to that. I'm just posing it as a question.
When I crunched the numbers, I think we're around 3 million less than pre-COVID. Don't quote me on that. Just what I'm
So
reading.
we're still filling the gap.
Like, for example, for sure, and we have so much faith in the government. I'll give you a perfect example. Michigan unemployment recipients from last year can't file their income taxes until March because Michigan was granted a 1-month extension for their 1099s. I mean, who gets away with that? Would Walmart get away with that? Would Wsgw be allowed to have an extension? It's just crazy. Don't get me wrong. We have to have faith in our government, but they have their own rules. They make up their own rules.
Well, but that's what when you say that. Here's the paradox of what you say. You say we have to have faith in our government, yet they do things like that which destroy the faith. And so, at what point do you say, okay, I have faith, and at what point do you say I don't have faith?
And that's unfortunate, and that's the way we're trending. Yeah. We could talk about a lot of different things. Joe Rogan and the controversies there, and a lot of the points that were made on this program, which actually turned out to be, some of these scientists were being ostracized for things that actually turned out to be true.
Yeah.
I just think we're blindly following without having a genuine, skepticism. That's what reporting is supposed to be all about. For example, Donald Trump, things were going great as far as the economy went, but you wouldn't know it by the reporting, really. You wouldn't.
Yeah, they didn't like
him. Things aren't probably as good. Well, and things probably aren't recovering as good as they should under Biden, but the reporting is just the opposite on the economy. We have to have unbiased, impartial media. I don't know. It's just confusing to me. We're bracing for this huge loss, and now we have a huge gain, and it just increases my skepticism. And I guess
I understand that.
I'm sorry.
That. It's the same thing that happened with COVID. How many different mixed messages did we get from the CDC and Dr. Fauci and all of those folks? I mean, and I don't think they were lying to us. I think what was happening was the message was changing as the news about it changed and as the science about it changed, and they had to keep changing with it. But it became very confusing to the American public. Is there any wonder why there's a whole section of the American public doesn't trust the vaccine, doesn't trust those things? Not surprising.
No, not at all. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for
taking the
calling.
call.
Appreciate it. Take care, Tom. Bye-bye now. Yeah, realistically, I mean, when the government sends you mixed messages about anything, and you have to start choosing what you believe and what you don't believe based on hearsay and talk shows and news and all of that stuff, it's a very bad situation when you can't rely on your government to do what it's supposed to do for you. Anyhow, we will pause, as we do often, to obscenely make a profit. My boss requires that. And then we will be back with more.
Grab your silk top hat and your best flapper dress and foxtrot the night away with the Disability Network of Mid-Michigan at Feathers and Fedoras, a Roaring 20s gala benefiting independent living programs for people with disabilities. Saturday, enjoy delicious food, dance to the music by Stone Street Revival, find Lady Luck at the casino, hit a speakeasy for Giggle Waters. Tickets are $50 per person. RSVP at www.dnmm.org/FAF. Feathers and Fedoras, Saturday, February 12th at Horizons Conference Center in Saginaw.
Yes, I'm so sorry about the wait, ma'am. I'll be with you shortly. Carrie, how many appointments did you book at 2:30?
Jin's physical therapy clinic is pretty stretched. He needs another PT before patients get bent out of shape.
You get fresh ice pack from Miss Davis's knee.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Has this ever happened to you? My friend was telling me about his new pair of headphones, so I looked them up online. Now, everywhere I go is a creepy ad for those headphones I looked at. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I got DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. It's that simple. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Art Lewis, did you do any pay-per-view event this weekend?
No.
No, then you didn't do this. Okay. Update that. You didn't. Okay.
No.
So you weren't paying to see the PFC event.
PFC event.
The Pillow Fight Championship.
Oh.
For the first time ever, Steve Williams, who is the man that had a dream of turning childhood horseplay into a professional combat sport. I kid you not. There was both women's divisions and men's divisions.
It's a real workout, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That is. No, it is. I remember having pillow fights in gym class. I bet you can't even do pillow fights in grade school anymore.
Can't do dodgeball. Can you do pillow fights?
Probably not.
Again, probably got lost with the football coverage.
Yeah. I was watching paint dry.
You better watch out. Some pillow fighter's going to come up and teach you a lesson.
Where I'm from, if we had pillow fights, we'd probably put rocks in the pillows.
You New Yorkers.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. And let's get back to our phones. Paul is in Saginaw. Good morning, Paul.
Happy birthday, Art.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yep. Art, last year, NPR, National Public Radio, did a research study on our national debt. And the information they put on there is really astounding. In January of 1790, when President George Washington took office his first year, the national federal debt was $71 million. By January of 1835, when President Andrew Jackson took off, it was in the second term, the national debt got down to $33,700, and he paid it off entirely. And the national debt was debt-free for 1 year. And that's the only time we've been debt-free. From 1835 to 1860, the national debt went to $64,900,000. Just 5 years later, in 1865, the national debt went to $2.7 billion.
Well, you know why there, don't you?
It's been skyrocketing ever since.
No, well, you know why. Oh, Civil War, exactly.
Right, right.
We can point to
here's
certain
what
things and
President
say, here's why.
Right. And it's been skyrocketing ever since to the current 27 trillion we have now.
No, 30
here's
trillion
what
now.
Or 30 trillion. Here's what President Andrew Jackson said back in 1835. He was a big, he was a interest-bearing banking system, debt banking system that they had back then, and we still have this today. He claims that interest-bearing debt banking system is the number one cause for the national debt skyrocketing to where it is at that time and in the future.
Nah, I don't buy that. Here's my feeling on it.
All right.
When the founding fathers wrote the Constitution, the one omission was a requirement for a balanced budget, like every state has.
Right.
And it's never been corrected through an amendment, and probably never will be, because those in power want to be able to spend the money. So consequently, we are in a society where those in power haven't learned how to balance the budget. They spend and they spend, and somehow it doesn't have any relation. Now, you know, the reality is, and we talked about this a little bit the other day, we're not near bankruptcy in this country because the country's, you know, total wealth is probably in the well over $100 trillion. And we're nowhere near coming close to it. But anytime the debt increases, it increases the load on you and me because we're the payers.
Right.
The money we send to Washington to do our bidding can't do our bidding if they have to use it to pay the interest. And the more the debt, the higher the interest. So all that money doesn't go for good. It goes to pay the debt, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast. And, you know, I don't see it fixing. I don't see it correcting. They've learned to spend, and they're spenders. And by the way, at both sides. It's not just one side. It's both sides. They like to spend.
All right. Now, prior to World War II in Germany, they had the same problem here. And even though Hitler was a bad man and did bad things, he did one good thing. He got rid of his national debt by issuing new currency.
Well, gee whiz.
Well, the new currency said that we're not going to have interest-bearing debt. What we're going to have is you pay a fee at the beginning of your loan, a processing fee, and that's as far as interest goes. And you just make monthly payments on the principal until the debt is paid.
So you paid your interest up front. I mean,
exactly.
it's but how does that change anything? You're still paying it. You're still paying it.
It was paid off the first month of the loan.
The interest
and you didn't
was
pay no more interest after that.
right, but if it's equal to what
And
you
that's
would have
how
paid
he
at the other end of the
collected his
loan, what's the
national debt.
difference? You're still paying it. You're still paying it. If we had to pay
Not
people,
as much, though.
if we had, that depends. If we as a country had to pay each bondholder interest before they bought the bond, you know, it's coming out of the same pocket, my friend. Guess what?
Well,
it still costs you.
1 month of
You're
1
still
month
spending
of
more than you
interest-
have.
1 month of interest is better than 30 years of 12 months.
That depends how much that interest is. If you're telling me that the
Well-
interest on a loan is $1 a month for 30 years, all right, So $12 times 30. You're talking about what, $360 or something like that, whatever the number is.
Right.
What's the difference if you pay it off on a monthly basis, or I charge you $360 up front?
He didn't do that. He didn't charge you 12 months, $360 for 30 years. You only paid 1 month interest processing fee.
How much was the fee? That's my point. The fee could be $360. What's the difference?
It was a lot less than that.
Well, I don't know whether it was or not.
A lot less than that.
And his system didn't hold up very long. I think the best system is to have a balanced budget.
The economy boomed. The economy boomed after that.
Was that not a wartime economy too?
Absolutely.
Well, okay. Economies tend to boom in the war. All right.
Right.
I got to run. Take care. Bye-bye now.
All right.
I mean,
Bye-bye.
To me, the only answer is a balanced budget amendment in the Constitution. It's never going to happen. But to me, that makes the most sense. Force the federal government to live within its means. States have to do it. Cities, townships, communities have to do it. We have to do it as individuals. But the one entity that owns the printing press doesn't have to do it. And it costs all of us. It costs us in several ways. It costs us because the money we send to Washington to do our bidding doesn't go to do our bidding, instead goes to pay off part of the interest, which means that money can't be used for the goods of the country. And the other thing is, when the printing presses crank up, inflation comes along. And we all pay for that. Bottom line is, we all pay for it anyway, one way or another. Because we provide the money to the government through our taxes to spend, except when they crank up the printing press and print more for themselves, which then we pay for with inflation. So, no matter how you look at it, they keep spending, we keep paying. Back to close out this hour.
Keep the Saginaw Children's Zoo in mind while you're shopping for special gifts this year. Visit our website to purchase a membership here and bring a gift from the zoo to your little ones. Stay connected to what's happening at the Saginaw Children's Zoo by visiting our website at SaginawZoo.com.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you do?
RocketGrabPlus.com. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, this week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is a perfect gift for you and that special someone. It's for the Salt Room and Wellness Spa in Saginaw. You are going to get one salt room session for two at the Salt Room and Wellness Spa for only $45. Each salt therapy session lasts 4 boosts immune system and is 100% antibacterial. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
When you fill your prescriptions at Walgreens, you can track the progress of your order in real time. Know the price of your prescriptions before you go to pick them up. And anytime you have questions, use Pharmacy Chat to ask an expert 24 hours a day. Help with your meds from Walgreens. Side effects may include breathing a little easier because your prescription stress melted away. Learn more on the Walgreens app.
This price isn't final. This is an estimated price based on your insurance coverage.
News is next, then we'll talk real estate with Linda Shephard.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios.
This is WSGW, Saginaw. WSGW-FM Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Futterman at the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics in Beijing, China. For 2 hours, Beijing officials put on a spectacular show. It included music, dancing, colorful scenes, and spectacular fireworks. The Beijing Olympics have now been officially opened. The official declaration.
Can you hear me now?
Chinese President Xi Jinping.
Sure you're not
There were
muted.
also
Oh, wait a minute.
moments, including the Parade of Nations.
Try it again. Go ahead.
Hey.
The
Got it.
Olympic
Okay,
cauldron.
we're good. Thanks.
Now the
I shut the video. Good.
to
I
the
shut the video off. When we're not
and
on.
the first medals at the Beijing
Be back
Winter
with you in
Games
about 10
will be handed out tomorrow. I'm Steve Futterman at the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics in Beijing. Now with more CBS News, here's Deborah Rodriguez.
A spike in Omicron cases in this country didn't hold the economy back. The Labor Department reported an unexpectedly high 467,000 jobs added last month, many in leisure, hospitality, retail, and transportation. Bankrate's Mark Hamrick on January's numbers.
Well, this was certainly not the downside surprise in hiring or payrolls that many were contrary. Between a pickup in wages and improvement in labor force participation and a much better than expected jump in employment, including upward revisions in previous months, this is a strong report.
The unemployment rate was up a tad to 4% in parts of the Northeast. There is ice underfoot as the massive winter storm moves on from the nation's midsection, where it's left more than 300,000 people without power. Vernon, Connecticut town administrator Michael Percaro.
We're keeping a very close eye on the weather. A wintry mix poses some very unique challenges. It's going to start with rain as predicted and then freeze.
At least one person was killed in Alabama when a tornado and tossed her mobile home across the street. Fox parent company News Corp says it's been hacked by cyber thieves. Correspondent Linda Kenyon.
The Rupert Murdoch-owned company reports the hack, first discovered late last month, accessed sensitive business information, including personal data of its customers and employees. The company's cybersecurity consultant said this persistent cyber attack activity was likely meant to gather intelligence to benefit China's interests.
News Corp says both its Wall Street Journal and New York Post were hit. Shares down for Facebook's parent company Meta after plunging about 26% yesterday, knocking Mark Zuckerberg from the world's 10 wealthiest list. CBS's Vladimir Duthier.
From TikTok and other rival platforms for the decline. He also pointed to Apple's decision to make it harder for apps to track user habits, saying that move cost Facebook roughly $10 billion.
This is CBS News.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Our hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with Retirement, the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals going on right now from Nom Nom Ninja, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? You bet. That's all at
RocketGrabPlus.com.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 9 degrees at... I'm Dave Maurer. This week's heavy snow brought out winter sports enthusiasts, but last night a snowmobiler was killed in Saginaw County. At approximately 8:15 p.m., deputies were sent to Grabowski Road west of South Fordney Road in Fremont Township for a single snowmobile crash. The snowmobile was ridden by 59-year-old Daniel Liebrock of Fremont Township. Liebrock was westbound on Grabowski when he lost control in the curves, leaving the roadway, and was thrown into a wooded area, striking a cluster of trees. MMR was called, and while transporting Liebrock to the hospital, he went into cardiac arrest and was pronounced efforts. Liebrock was wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. A daycare in Cairo has been shut down by the state due to a number of violations. The Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs suspended the license of Crystal Lutz following an investigation. Violations included lack of appropriate care and supervision, households members' use suitability and conduciveness to the welfare of children, and failure to notify the department after receiving an allegation of inappropriate contact with a child. Lutz is prohibited from operating a family child care home or accepting children for care. She is required to inform all parents her license is suspended. Laura has also issued a notice of intent to revoke her license. Police arrested a Saginaw man Wednesday for trying to rob a credit union and setting his own vehicle on fire. The 30-year-old suspect was in the parking lot of the Family First Credit Union at 1011 North Michigan Avenue around 8:40 a.m. When a female teller arrived and headed to the building, police say the man approached her and handed her a note saying his son had been kidnapped and he needed $10,000 to pay the ransom. The woman told her manager, who called the police. The suspect then allegedly put a lighter fluid-soaked rag in the gas tank of his red Lincoln fire. The fire was quickly put out by emergency responders. Police arrested the suspect and lodged him at the Saginaw County Jail. They say there is no truth to the kidnapping story. If you received unemployment benefits in Michigan last year, be prepared to wait to file your taxes. MNN's Erin V. reports.
The 1099-G forms, which report how much a claimant received in benefits and the amount of taxes they paid on those benefits, is going to be late. Normally, the forms are sent by January 31st, but won't be available until the end of this month. The reason? The state received an extension from the Internal Revenue solution for the nearly 700,000 Michigan workers who received notices for overpayments and collection activity related to non-fraudulent claims filed during the pandemic. Many of those claimants who were asked to recertify by the state because of a waiver process have yet to receive waivers.
WSGW News Time, 10:08.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, the process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves loss of principal.
WSGW News Time, 10:09. Fewer people may be hospitalized for COVID-19 in southeast Michigan, but health experts warn the pandemic isn't over. MNN's Dr. Deanna Lights with details.
Dr. Matthew Sims, Director of Infectious Disease Research for Beaumont Health, says fewer patients are in the hospital with COVID-19.
We hit our peak a few weeks ago. It's been coming down steadily since. We're under 300 across the system.
But it's not the time to let your guard down.
Even though the surge is coming to an end, this is not over. Every time we come out of a surge, people kind of, and they move on and try to get back to their normal lives. But when they stop masking, when they stop social distancing, that's when surges start happening again.
It's also important to get vaccinated and boosted.
Google is joining Ford Motor Company's effort to transform a once dilapidated Detroit train station into a research hub focused on electric and self-driving vehicles. Ford also announced today that Detroit and the state of Michigan have agreed to provide infrastructure and other support for the Michigan Central Innovation District that includes a defunct train depot and other nearby buildings in the historic Corktown neighborhood just outside downtown. Ford Central Innovation District in 2018, shortly after it bought the 18-story train depot. Renovations at the more than century-old Michigan Central Station could be completed by next year. Ford plans to research, test, and launch new mobility solutions there. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see cloudy skies here for today with a high into the upper teens. Winds out of the north around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy sky conditions. By Saturday, mostly sunny, high around 22 degrees. And on Sunday, partial sunshine develops. We'll see high around 30. Monday, mostly cloudy skies, high around 28. And on Tuesday, we'll have mostly sunny sky conditions, high 32 degrees. Wednesday, cloudy, high around 36, and Thursday, cloudy, high of 32. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 8 above.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome to another edition of the second hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And as you know, with the changes in programming, this hour now has been reserved for consumer-type topics, and we're going to do that today. We're going to talk about real estate today with someone who knows all about it because she's in the business, and you hear me mention her quite often because she sponsors our program. From Pinnacle Realty, we say good morning to Linda Shephard. Morning, Linda.
Good morning, Art. How are you this morning?
We're doing well. Good to see you. And you can watch us both on video, by the way, twitch.tv, YouTube, Facebook, all those good things. So let's start with an overview.
Yes.
You've been in the business a while. You've seen the ups and downs of real estate.
Yes.
How would you describe the shape of the real estate industry today?
It is strong for sellers. Still, we are so strong for sellers. I mean, I got in the market in 2009 when the collapse had just happened. So it was a buyer's market. Days on market were like 180 days. It was crazy. Now, if your house is on the market more than 7 days without an offer, it's getting market worn. It's just still a seller's market.
And you know, typically we were hearing over the past couple of years about what I call ridiculous offers, but you have a house and maybe the appraised value dictates that you sell that house for $250,000. And that became the starting point, not the ending point.
Exactly.
How much over were you seeing on the average $250,000 house? What was realistic to expect?
Somewhere up around 300,000. It was ridiculous.
Oh.
We had cash offers coming in. I actually missed out on a deal where we went 65,000 over asking on a $240,000 listing. I mean, it got crazy last summer. Just ridiculous. You were dealing with a lot of cash buyers from out of state, people that were moving home back to the area because their job dictates that they could work from anywhere now. It was a feeding frenzy on every house listed, and over value.
And they had the cash because they probably sold their original house for more.
That's exactly. I mean, I had people move up from Rochester Hills that sold their house for $100,000 more than it was worth 18 months prior to that, and they bought the similar house here for $100,000 less than what they, it's location still.
But just for the buyer's knowledge, if you went to the bank to finance your house, and let's say, we'll keep my $250,000 house in play for a minute here. Let's say you had 20% down.
Mm-hmm.
So you got $50,000 down on the house.
Yep.
Now you go to buy that house and it's going to cost you $300,000, $50 more than the asking price.
Mm-hmm.
Bank's not going to finance that, are they?
No, you're coming to the table.
Cash out of your pocket.
Yes, it's cash out of your pocket.
Because these houses, even though they're selling for this, eventually that appraisal is going to come back down and balance out, isn't it?
We are going to have a balance. And I'm already starting to see a little shift now with the Fed coming out and saying that interest rates are going to go up a touch. There's a little feeling, just a little. And I've seen a couple of foreclosed houses now. I think we're going to see a balance in the next 6 months. Not severe, but definitely a more of a balance.
That's interesting. You mentioned foreclosed houses, because I would think just the opposite would be true. If people were buying more, it's not that they were buying a house they couldn't afford. They had to put the cash up front, the overage.
They did, but there were still some buyers that bought out of what they should have purchased. Yeah, they made a mistake. They didn't have good representation, and it's sad. Or they bought a fixer-upper. All of a sudden, the price to fix these homes are double to triple of what they were, 2x4s, everything. Then they got in over their heads. It just happens. It happens.
I mean, in terms of, you mentioned something very interesting and good representation. Someone comes to you and wants to buy a house.
Yes.
What do you do? What's your responsibility to that person?
So
as an agent?
You get a young couple in their 20s. Life is all excited. We're pre-approved for $200,000. Great. Do I want to sell them $200,000? Yeah, I work on commission. But when you get to know these people and realize they'd like to take a vacation, they'd like to buy a car, they're thinking about having children, I try to bring them back down to earth of saying, well, you can afford $200,000, but around 150 will get you exactly what you're looking for, and now you're not house poor. There's nothing worse than the only thing you can afford is your house, and you can't go to the Spirit game on Saturday, or you can't go do stuff because everything goes into the house. So we're psychologists to a certain extent. I say that, flippantly, but we get to know our clients pretty well. I mean, you miss them. Some people you leave closing, you're hugging saying, hey, I hope to see you at Myers or something, because you really become part of their lives, and you don't want to see them making mistakes. So it's our job not to just line them up and sell them houses and get them through like cattle. That is just not me. That's not my job. My job is to help them make a good decision, not make a mistake.
Explain to me and to everybody else the multiple listing system.
Well, it is a service through our membership, because we're part of the Saginaw Board of Realtors, and our MLS, that's where we list all our listings. All other agents can see those listings. It drips out onto realtor.com and all over the internet. But so that's, in a nutshell, that's it.
So you as an agent, broker agent, you can sell somebody else's listing and they can sell your listings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The commissions are different though, right? You have to split when you do that.
You're generally splitting. Yeah. Average commission 6 or 7%. And you're splitting that between the buyer's agent and seller's agent.
You say the average is commissions negotiable?
Commission is negotiable, and it depends on what brokerage you work for on how negotiable it is.
I never knew that.
Yes.
Interesting.
There's a little insider.
Thought you just sat down at the table, plunked your money down, and you were done.
Well, and it depends on who you're working with and what the array of services they want from you. Open houses, all sorts of things like that. I mean, there's services that are clearing out foreclosures and things like that. You're getting less of a commission. Sometimes it's a house that's only worth $15,000. So then this set commission is going to be like $1,000, or it's a set flat rate. Yeah. So yeah, everything in real estate is negotiable.
All right. Hang on. We got to take a break. We're talking to Linda Shephard from Pinnacle Realty. We're going to talk about buying and selling homes here. And if you have any questions about buying or selling or how to get your house ready, you can give us a call. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll free 866-790 WSGW.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, you can expect access to care as soon as you need it. You can schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. You can also call our customer service team to ask for information and get the help you need. With Blue Cross, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit BCB/senior options.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download free Get Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GEAR for 25 cents a gallon or more cash back on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code GEAR to earn 25 cents a gallon or more on your first tank. That's code GEAR.
Has this ever happened to you? My friend was telling me about his new pair of headphones, so I looked them up online. Now, everywhere I go is a creepy ad for those headphones I looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I got DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. On download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. It's that simple. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower with the Nasdaq taking the largest losses. Investors are looking at a dismal quarter for Facebook's parent company Meta Platforms. Its stock is skidding after reporting fewer daily active users and disappointing ad revenue. Though the COVID Omicron wave's impact on the job market may be or fewer people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time last week, 238,000 new claims. Shell, Qualcomm, Nintendo, T-Mobile US, Nokia, Estee Lauder, and Hanes brands are among companies reporting upbeat earnings for the holiday quarter. Tesla shares are losing ground after a recall involving the chime that alerts if a seatbelt is not fastened. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Biden's massive spending plan has expanded America's money supply and taken money out of your. You can fight back against runaway inflation by sheltering your IRA or 401k with gold through Birch Gold Group. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I'm proud to be a customer of Birch Gold. Join me. Birch Gold has created a free info kit on protecting your retirement with gold in a tax-sheltered account. Just text the words SHELTER to 989898. Text SHELTER to 989898 and learn how to shelter your IRA or 401k with gold.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDCY.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
The Superman theme from the movie for a real-life Superman. The story comes from the Philippines. And a Filipino dress designer. His name is Herbert Chavez. He says, Superman is my idol. He says, I want to look like Superman. This 35-year-old man has undergone a series of procedures to slim down his thighs, to have surgery on his cheeks, his lips, his chin. He's had injections. He's copied the nose of Superman, the proportion He's going to have metal rods inserted in his legs to make him taller.
Well, those rods in his legs, I can see him calling him the Man of Steel.
People in his village in the Philippines refer to him as the village Superman. I'm thinking more along the lines of the village idiot.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lawyer Show, talking to Linda Shephard about the real estate industry and buying and selling homes. All right, let's start with the selling of a home. Let's say I've got my $250,000 house. I like that number. And lived in my house a lot of years, and it's time to sell it. Well, house that you've lived in a lot of years, usually there's stuff all over the walls. There's all kinds of stuff all over the house. And the next thing I know, the real estate agent is telling me, you got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that. And by the way, I don't want you in the house when I show it. What happens? Why does that happen?
Well, because you don't want the people to be there during showings. It is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for the buyers. They don't feel free to say what's on their mind or they're thinking. And to tell you the truth, sometimes buyers are not nice, and agents, oh, it smells in here. What did they have? 6 cats? It's a brutal, you don't want to be there. I remember there was a TV show where they used to put cameras up for when people were walking through people's houses and they were watching. I'm like, why would you do that? No. You don't want to be there for showings.
So I'm better off listening to my real estate agent, and every agent's going to tell me that, right?
Every agent's going to tell you that. Don't be there for showing. Sometimes people can't leave for medical reasons, and we understand that. Usually they're very sweet. But yeah, you really don't want to be there. It's just very difficult. And you have to take down things in your house. It's terrible when buyers walk in, immediately go to all your pictures on the wall and say, oh, I think I know them. Oh, I think that. Okay, now you're not looking at the purchase. You're someplace else. Oh my gosh, that's somebody's cousin, sister's brother. Oh, we can't, you got to get the personal out. You have to look at your house as an asset. It's no longer your home. It is an asset that you're selling. And that is the most difficult, especially if they've raised all their children, their grandchildren come on the weekends. They have the marks on the walls where you do your height every year. Oh my God, it's brutal to have to tell people this is now an asset. It is just money, and it's difficult. I feel it's very difficult.
Should you take things off the wall and stuff like that?
If it's very personal and you have a ton of personal, if you're too much in the house, people can't see themselves there. So if you're everywhere, pictures of on the pianos full of children and this and that, people they can't see themselves there. So you should get everything out. Try to streamline it, make it look almost staged and nice and warm and inviting.
And for an older couple, are there people that'll do that for them?
Yeah.
Can you hire people to stage your house? I guess that's the word I'm looking for. You're staging the house, aren't you?
You're staging the house. Yeah, you can get people in, and you have to be brutal honest as an agent. You can't just color code it and say, oh yeah, I can sell just like this. Not if there's one track going from the living room to the kitchen and there's so much stuff and there's no. You have to be honest with people and let them know it's just not going to sell like this. You've got to change.
We had a caller didn't hang on, but they had a question. I don't know. It's kind of a generic question. I don't know if there's an answer or not. What's your opinion on mobile home parks versus private property?
Well, with mobile home parks, you don't own the property you're on. You're renting that space. So agents cannot sell mobile homes. Now, you can get a Class D license because a mobile home is considered a vehicle. So you can get a Class D, and we had one for a while. And then the park sold again, and the owners generally do all the selling and buying in the parks. If you're buying a mobile home that's sitting on a property, you have to get an affidavit of fixture that mobile home is now permanently plotted on that land, and then you own the land underneath it. So
if you do that, if you take that mobile home and it's permanently plotted on that land, does that then allow a realtor to sell it?
Yes. Yep. If there's an article of a fixture to the land. So the state comes in and says, yes, this mobile home, the wheels have been taken off. It's now sitting on a foundation.
It's permanent.
It's permanently there. So yes.
Then it becomes a house.
Then it's a house. Yep.
But the values don't follow what a house does it?
No. Now a modular is a whole different thing. A modular is brought there and put up.
It's a stick house, right? Yeah.
Yep. It's considered a site-built house in Michigan. Yep.
So in terms of property, I mean, you mentioned that, the private property is property you own.
Yes.
In terms of property, does it pay to buy property before you build a house? Buy it yourself before you build?
Oh, yeah. You don't want to put your house there. You don't want to put your $250,000 new house on property you don't own, unless you, I suppose, had a 100-year lease or something like that. But nobody does that.
Yeah, I guess that I misphrased the question. Then let me rephrase it. I want to build a house.
Yeah.
Should I go to a home builder and say, what do you got? Build me a house on one of your lots? Or should I go out and find the hunk of property I want to build on and then go to the home builder and say, put a house there?
Either way, a home builder may have a whole plotted subdivision that he's working on, and you want that corner lot, or you want the one that backs up out to the road, or you want different things. So you can do it that way, or you go and find 10 acres of property out by Hemlock and say, okay, I want it set back. I don't want to see it from the road. So yeah, you can go either way.
I guess the next question is, if I buy that piece of property, should I consult with an architect or a builder to make sure that a house can be built on that property the way I want it?
Oh yes, because you have to have it perk tested. You have to make sure there's groundwater. You have to talk to the township. There might be setbacks, there might be restrictions, and this is where you need to get with your agent, because your agent can make those calls for you. If you say you want to make sure you're on a street with city water, city sewer, or you want to be nowhere and I want to just make sure I can put a well and septic, you want that perk test to make sure that you can have that septic tank. So there's a lot of steps to all of that.
All right. So we've talked about redoing the inside of the house to make it friendly to the buyer.
Yeah.
But that's not the first thing you see.
No.
First thing you see when you get to a house is the outside of the house.
Yes.
What do you need to do?
Please pick up your dog's duty. That's my first recommendation.
Right off the top, huh?
Right off the top. If you've got a German Shepherd, please don't let your German Shepherd in the front yard killing the grass. This time of year is okay because you can just throw snow over top of it, but you want people to pull up and go, oh. If we've had a particularly hot summer and you've got that greeny stuff that grows on the outside it's not going to hurt anything, but it just looks terrible. Prune the bushes. If you have bushes that are growing over the front of the window and you can't even see, get rid of it. You really want that wow factor when you're pulling up. Get the kids' toys out of the yard. Clean it up. And your agent, when they're coming to list your house, will say, okay, this has got to go. We need to paint this front deck. The paint's chipping. Yeah, clean it up.
So let's talk about inside the house now. We'll move from the outside to the inside. If I'm going to sell a house, but let's say the bathrooms are antiquated, the kitchen's not in great shape, does it pay to redo them before you sell the house?
That's a big question. Right now, it's very difficult because building is so expensive. Back in the 80s, when the prices were crazy, but you could build a kitchen for $5,000 and you're going to get $10,000 back in value, that's one thing. If it's really dated, it might be a good idea, but you also have a society right now of HDTV where people may be wanting to come in and do their own thing. So it really is a house by house on that. Nothing distresses me more when I walk into a house and you've got that beautiful 1950s pink tile and it's absolutely immaculate. And they're going to say, oh, that's the first thing that's got to go. Is me, I think it's beautiful. So it really is a house-to-house basis. If the kitchen's not workable, then it's probably worth getting it done before selling.
Are those the two rooms, though, the bath and kitchen, where
Bath
if you're
and kitchen.
remodeling a house, you do get the biggest return?
Yeah, that's your biggest return, and that's going to be your biggest money. And you can put in a $25,000 kitchen. Right now, you'll probably just get that. It will zero out. You'll get that back.
Well, even that's not bad, though. I mean, if I
That's
put
not
25
bad.
in and get 25 back, I can live with that. If
But
it
the
sells the
problem with
house.
that is trying to find a worker right now to do that.
Uh-huh.
work. So you say, okay, I want to put this kitchen in. Can you get it done in 30 days? Oh, no, I'm telling you, it'll be July before we list that house. So you got to take all of that into focus and see where you can go.
All right. Hang on. We'll take a break. We're talking to Linda Shephard from Pinnacle Realty, and you can always give her a call at 989-295-7713. We will be back with more after these notes.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for movie night at the Temple Theater. A pair of tickets usually cost you $20, but you are getting it half off. Only $10. That's only $5 per ticket. And this specific deal is for the movie Malcolm X. It's happening Sunday, February 6th at 2 p.m. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your Plus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help empower your retirement. They talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial, Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Though many people are doing okay today, there are still many people experiencing difficulties in the community. Here is a reminder. Community resource you are encouraged to use if you find yourself needing extra support. 211 is a public service number for all non-emergency needs. You can call it anytime, any day, and an agent will connect you with whatever it is you're looking for. Food, financial assistance, housing support, clothing, transportation. All you need to do is dial 211 or text your zip code to 898-211 to get connected. Looking for a COVID testing location? Need help paying your bills? Is food in short supply for your family? Dial 211 to talk to a compassionate, highly trained agent who is ready to connect you with local resources. Confidential service to help you overcome obstacles of all sizes. This message is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation, because it takes a village for good forever.
This is Kareem Bowen, and I'm the host of United Shades of Gray, Conversations of Race in America. This week, we will discuss the infamous voter fraud claims and their impact on our fragile democracy.
United Shades of Gray, Sunday evenings at 7 on WSGW.
This is the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you talking to Linda Shephard from Pinnacle Realty about the real estate business and buying and selling homes and all that good stuff. And now I'm going to put Linda on the spot.
Oh, Lord.
How do I pick a realtor?
Well, of course, I'm going to tell you.
Call you.
Call me first. Everybody's got a mother's brother's sisters that's in the business, or I know this person, they sell down in Grand Blanc. I would not use an out-of-town real estate agent. I will tell you that's been kind of a difficult thing in the past. Again, back to you, kind of stay in your lane. But you have to pick somebody you trust and interview them. See what they've done. How have they helped? Are they straightforward with you? Are they just telling you anything to get your listing? Are they telling you anything to be your buyer's agent? And to tell you that in this town, most of the agents are fantastic that you are going to pick. They're good. You've got the franchise agents that work across town. You've got individual brokerages like myself. We're independent. We don't have to pay franchise fee. All the money stays here. Don't just go with a friend that sells real estate. Really do your homework and find a good agent. And go to their Googles. Go to their reviews and see what people have to say. And referral is the best thing you can do. If I sold your best friend one 3 years ago, they recommend me. 3 years later, they still remember my name. That is the biggest honor I can get, that they remember who I am and that I did them a very good job and that they're very happy. I always tell my new agents, I said, when you see somebody in Myers 6 months after they sell their house, if they change lanes, you probably did a crappy job. So make sure that when you run into people at stores and things like that, they're still so happy. Do a good job.
Yeah. You mentioned a couple of words there. Buyer's agent. Now, I understand I need an agent. If I want to sell my house, I'm going to get an agent.
Yeah.
Tell me about a buyer's agent and what does that cost me?
Yeah, when you have a listing agent, we are listing your house. We're working for you. Our due diligence is to you. Our contracts are with you first. Even if we bring the buyer, we generally stay our due diligence to our sellers. If I'm a buyer's agent, that means I'm showing them everything that they want to see. I'm helping them, and the whole buyer's working with their bank, working with the title company, everything, their inspector, everything that has to go with doing on the buying side.
All right. At the risk of offending all of my attorney friends, do I need an attorney sitting at the table with me when I close on a house?
No, that's what you have an agent for. That's exactly what we get licensed through the state of Michigan for, is so you don't have to pay those attorney fees. That's exactly. An attorney, a lot of people will come and have me just, if they're selling a house to a friend of theirs, I'll do the transaction for them, because if you go and get an attorney, it's going to cost you so much more than us just doing the transaction, because this is what we do every day.
Is that also true in commercial, or if I'm buying a commercial building, is that different?
Yeah, it is different. You want a commercial agent that understands if you're buying just the real property or if you're buying the business. If you're buying the business, there's so much more to that whole thing. Get a commercial agent that knows what they're doing.
So this goes back to picking that agent again and knowing knowing what you're getting.
Yeah.
It's a relationship similar to what it would be with a doctor, isn't it? I mean, I want to know.
It is. It's referral.
With you.
Yeah, it's referral based. I get more referrals than I do. I put billboards up and things just to keep the Pinnacle name out there, because I started this company, that we're in our 7th year. I have no assumption I am going to get one buyer seller off those billboards. It's just to get my name out there. It is more referral based. I love when, even 10 years ago, they come back and have me sell their house now for them. And now they're moving to Florida. Or they're wanting to downsize. Oh, that's the greatest calls I get. And it's referral. It's all referral.
So from the time I come to you and say, all right, Linda, I want to sell my $250,000 house again. What are the first steps? I come to you, we sit down, and I say, I've got a house at such and such an address. Sell it for me. What happens?
Okay. I start my work. I run a competitive market analysis on it, see what's selling in the neighborhood, what's selling in the outreaches. I will put a value, my broker opinion of what I think that house is worth, what it's going to sell for, what we should list it for, who's going to buy that house. You get an idea of who's going to even be walking through the house. If you're selling a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, you're with triple or 2 stories, you're going to generally get a family. If you're selling a 2-bedroom with 2 full baths, you're going to get a couple that doesn't have kids. So that's my job as your seller's agent. Say, okay, this is who's going to walk you through every step of that. I run pre-title, make sure that there's no clouds in title, because that's a big one. That's our job. We're going to market it. We're going to get it out on the MLS. We're going to hold open houses if COVID will allow us. We're going to make sure that buyers coming through the house are pre-approved. We just don't have sightseers. So that's where we start. First, I start there.
So I sit down with you and I say, okay, Linda, I want you to sell my house. Is there a contract? How long am I obligated to stay with you if the house doesn't sell, for example?
Usually only 6 months. That really hasn't been an issue. It used to be an issue back when it used to be a buyer's market. Now you might even do a contract for 3 months. But the first thing I'm going to do is walk through your house with you. You're going to tell me everything about the house. You're going to tell me that this plug doesn't work. It's never worked. We don't know why. You're going to walk through. I'm going to point out things, you need to, let's get some fresh paint on this. You took pictures down. Now we've got to get some fresh paint. We're going to walk through your house. Then I'm going to go back to my office and do the competitive market analysis. Now I have a better idea of what we're working with. Then I generally go back to the second time, and that's when we sign contracts. And I tell you what price we're going to get.
You tell me what you think the house is worth.
Yes.
And most of us think our property is worth a lot more than it is, don't we?
It's funny, not now as much. Well, again, it's a different thing now because everybody doesn't quite know what their house is worth now, because we've had such an upheaval up and down over the last 18 months with COVID and everything that's happened. It's just different. So you need somebody that's looking at every house that is sold, everything that's sold in the last 7 days or closed in the last 30 days. So you have a really good, because you don't want to also get a price that an appraiser is going to walk in and say, nope, we're $25,000 less. Or so, that's why you have an agent, to make sure you're getting top dollar, but not crazy.
All right. Hang on, and we'll be back. We're talking to Linda Shephard from Pinnacle Realty about buying and selling homes and property, and we'll do more of it when we return.
Why does Walgreens offer copays as low as $0 and 90-day refills? Because we care about Medicare, so you don't have to. I mean, do you really care to hear me go on about same-day prescription delivery making your life easier? Or how there's a pharmacy expert available 24/7 and one-click refills? Well, I just did anyways. Fill your Medicare prescriptions with Walgreens and save.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans with Walgreens as a preferred pharmacy. Restrictions apply. See walgreens.com/Medicare for complete details.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. On the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
With Valentine's Day right around the corner, this week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is you and that special someone. It's for the Salt Room and Wellness Spa in Saginaw. You are going to get one Salt Room session for two at the Salt Room and Wellness Spa for only $45. Each salt therapy session lasts 45 minutes. Salt therapy boosts immune system and is 100% antibacterial. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Lionel Richie is going to be honored. The Library of Congress bestowing the Gershwin Prize for Popular Song upon Lionel Richie.
Oh.
Is there a better musical story we could have this morning than this story?
Well, Charlie, it's funny that you say that because guess what? There is. If Lionel decides that he wants to play at Pine Knob, he'll be able to say he's playing at Pine Knob. Pine Knob is Pine Knob again.
Which is what everybody called it anyway.
Well, yeah,
The naming contract ran out.
Yeah, the naming contract ran out for your first Pine Knob concert.
Me, Jay Giles.
Dave?
It was
I'm a little ashamed to name mine, but I went to 80s hair band night, and it was Donkin, Cinderella, and the headliner, Poison. Whoa!
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I once saw Barry Manilow there, too.
Why, hey, Barry, that's all right.
He was one of the best concerts I ever saw in my life.
I bet.
At Pine Knob.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Has this ever happened to you? Your significant other says, we've got to redo the kitchen, and you break out into a cold sweat?
Well, don't worry. It's a common condition, something we call needless remodeling anxiety. And we've got the cure. Heck, we are the cure. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
Whether you do it yourself or direct it yourself, we can help you keep your project on track and on budget.
So join us this weekend for the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
The Money Pit, Saturday mornings at 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, it's the Friday 5, and it's going to be a little chilly.
I'm going to put a sweater on before we do it.
Going to bust out your mittens, too?
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, talking to Linda Shephard from Pinnacle Realty about the real estate market and how you buy and sell homes. And so I saved this one for the end.
Oh,
that's not that bad. Home inspectors. If I buy a house, is it mandatory that I get a home inspection?
no, it is not mandatory.
So nobody's making me do it.
Nobody's
But is it the
making-
wise thing to do?
Yes, it is. I cannot stress that enough. I've said it a million times. Do not buy a house without a home inspector. They're going to go in places that you're never going to go in your house, up in the attic, into the corners, into your crawl space. They're going to find things, and don't buy a house without a home inspection. It is the cheapest thing you're going to pay in the whole transaction, but it is the best insurance you're going to have.
All right, we have Sandy in St. Charles on the phone here. Sandy, would you like to talk with Linda? Good morning.
I would. Good morning. We're getting older and ready to downsize. Is there a fee to have a realtor come in and give us an estimate and what to do before I put a bunch of money into new countertop and this and that?
Oh, interesting. Do you have a for fee service? In other words, where you can go in and advise people?
Oh, well, I don't know if I would do it for fee. I would just do it out of the kindness of my heart because everybody needs a little help there, hoping that they'll list with me, I guess. I really haven't done a for fee service, to be honest, because most people are going to list with me anyways. But if they would like me to come and walk through, I'd do it just because it's a pay it forward. You don't get asked to do it that often, and it's worth doing, especially for people who've been there for a long time. You need a little bit of advice.
All right. There you go, Sandy.
Okay.
And here's the number, 989-295-7713.
Got it.
Reminder of the conversation. Thanks. Bye.
That's wonderful. It's hard to sell your house when you've been in there for so long. I just had to do this back in 19, and it's very difficult. I raised my children there. I totally understand how difficult it is and how difficult to know what new buyers are looking for. So yeah, I'm very happy to do things like that.
All right, so let's go back to the very beginning here. And in listing a home, which I'm going to sell my $250,000 house, from the time I sit down with you and say, Linda, represent me, to the time that house sells, on average in this world today, how long should I reasonably expect to wait to see my house sold?
2 months. 2 months from beginning to end, because the way it's going right now, you're going to have an offer within probably the first week or two. Whoever's getting that loan is going to take them 30 days. So it is probably 60 days is the standard. Now, having said that, if you get a cash buyer, they buy it sight unseen, it could be as little as 2 weeks. But doing
How many
that,
people buy a house sight unseen?
it happened. I'm telling you, it was crazy last year. A ton of people bought sight unseen, or we walked through on a Facebook with them, or it was crazy. But this is where you want your agent to go to bat for you. So now all of a sudden you got a cash offer. They want the house in 2 weeks and they want occupancy at close. If you didn't see that little condition in there, you got to be out the day you close on that house. Now you've lived in your house for 30, 40 years. It's going to take you more than 2 weeks to get out of that house. So you got to have somebody fighting for you, making sure you see every nuance of that contract so you don't get stuck.
All right. She's Linda Shephard at Pinnacle Realty inside the Point at M46 and M47. And you can also sample her delicious food at Cafe 476. As always, Linda, a pleasure.
You too, Art. It was good seeing everybody. Thanks, everybody. Stay warm out there. Goodness gracious.
Good idea. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Linda Shephard from Pinnacle Realty, and you can get a hold of her at 989-295-7713. She sponsors the Art Lewis Show. We thank her very much for it. We'll take our last break and be back to close out and move on to Focus.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. This winter weather's cold, so what better way than to warm up inside? Global flavors like Creole cookies with her famous
How bad
gumbo,
is it?
El Pablito with their popular tacos, sweet treats from Mini Donut Delight Factory, and Craven Cookies, handmade wares with Bling and Jewelry Boutique and Asia's Wigs and Apparel. Comics, anyone? Check out Source Point Press. We welcome a new business, formerly Circus Snacks. Come shop inside the SVRC Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace. Join us for our Kids and Kisses event, Family Fun, on February 19th with DJ Ryan Russo and Electric Taco. Check out our Facebook page for more information. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we will see you at the market.
Grab your silk top hat and your best flapper dress and foxtrot the night away with the Disability Network of Mid-Michigan at Feathers and Fedoras, a Roaring 20s gala benefiting independent living programs for people with disabilities. Saturday, February 12th. Enjoy delicious food, dance to the music by Stone Street Revival, find Lady Luck at the casino, hit a speakeasy for Giggle Waters. Tickets are $50 per person. RSVP at www.dnm.org/FAF. Feathers and Fedoras. Saturday, February 12th at Horizons Conference Center in Saginaw.
19, and now it's flu season. Why not face them together? You can get your COVID-19 vaccine and your flu vaccine at the same time. Just ask your doctor. You'll save time and you could save lives. People 65 and older and those with underlying health conditions are especially at risk. Let's face COVID-19 and the flu together, Michigan. Get vaccinated. Learn more at michigan.gov/flu. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Has this ever happened to you? My friend was telling me about his new pair of headphones, so I looked them up online. Now, everywhere I go is a creepy ad for those headphones I looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I got DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. It's that simple. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
WSGW Sports Broadcast page on WSGW.com. Want to know when and which WSGW station you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football? Click on the Sports Broadcast box on WSGW.com.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Thanks for being with us today. News is next, and then we'll be back with Focus.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios.
This is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kafer. While some parts of the country dig out from a major snowstorm, the Northeast is now getting the tail end of the huge system, a mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Jonathan Gulliver of the Massachusetts Department of Transportation says travel is treacherous.
We're going to be deceived by seeing wet pavement only to find out that it's ice. So this is one of the scenarios where the faster you go, the worse it's going to get.
CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson.
In the east, it's snow north of Interstate 90 or US 4, depending where you are. South, it is a nasty sleet and freezing rain mix. All of this should end. The precipitation falling from the sky should end by about 6 p.m.
Hundreds of thousands in several states are dealing with power outages from the weather yesterday. 24th Winter Games officially opened today in Beijing. CBS's Jamie Yukas covered the lighting of the Olympic cauldron and the pomp that went with it.
Organizers of podcasts of the world, their vision and theme for the games, together for a shared future. For the Parade of Nations, a twist for Team USA. Teammates chose curling legend John Schuster and bobsledder Alana Myers-Taylor as flag bearers, but Brittany Bowe walked for Myers-Taylor since she's still stuck in a Chinese isolation hotel after a positive COVID test.
Minnesota's Attorney General is now going to review the fatal shooting of a Minneapolis man by police. CBS's Jerika Duncan says they acted on a search warrant in a homicide investigation.
Body cam video shows Minneapolis SWAT officers turning a key into the door. One at the Valero Flats just after 6:30 Wednesday morning. Officers enter and can be heard shouting with guns drawn as they approach 22-year-old Amir Locke lying on the couch wrapped in a blanket. A gun can be seen in Locke's hand just before officers opened fire, only about 9 seconds after entering the apartment.
One of the three men convicted of murdering Ahmaud Arbery has withdrawn a guilty plea to a federal hate crimes charge days after a judge tossed out a plea deal. It means a trial is next. The government says 467,000 jobs were added last month. The unemployment rate edged up. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Employment in leisure and hospitality was up by 151,000. This surprised a lot of people. Professional and business services added 86,000. Retail trade rose by 61,000.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 243 points. The NASDAQ is up 49 points. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
While you're comfortable inside your weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
I had a member who received an email at a reputable company that she a large amount of money out of her account. She was panicked and upset, and I walked her through what she needed to do. Told her the exact steps to do and that I would keep an eye on her account. So she followed all of my instructions to the letter. And then the company that charged her account was aware that it was a scam, and they gladly and apologetically assured her that everything would be just fine and the money would not come out of her account. So she was very grateful.
Saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. Find out for yourself. Call, click, or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to. always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Got a party of 10 coming in. We need to flip those 2 tables.
Leah's restaurant is fully booked night after night.
Section 3 is still behind.
She no longer has reservations about finally finding a hostess.
Why doesn't 23 have menus? Oh, they're in my hand.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 10 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. The Saginaw County Sheriff's Office says a 59-year-old man is dead after crashing his snowmobile in Fremont Township Thursday. Daniel Liebrock of Fremont Township was riding the snowmobile west of South Fordney Road about 8:15 p.m. when he lost control. He was thrown into a wooded area and struck a cluster of trees. Deputies said he was awake and complaining of back pain when they arrived. He was taken to Covenant Healthcare in Saginaw, but went into cardiac arrest on the way and was pronounced dead at the hospital. A 30-year-old man was arrested in Saginaw Wednesday after trying to set his own car on fire. Police say the suspect was at the Family First Credit Union at 1011 North Michigan Avenue around 8:48. Was approached by a female teller heading inside. Police say the man allegedly passed her a note saying he needed $10,000 to get his child back from a kidnapper. The woman informed her manager, who called police. The man then went to his vehicle, a red Lincoln MKZ, and stuffed a lighter fluid-soaked rag into the gas tank and lit it on fire. Emergency responders were able to put the fire out quickly. The man was arrested and is awaiting formal charges. A judge is ruling that jurors will not be hearing about the past of 3 FBI agents who investigated those charged in the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer. More in this report.
That order is coming from Chief U.S. District Judge Robert Jonker, who's detailing what will and will not be allowed at the March 8th trial. Reports say the 3 FBI agents who individually face charges in unrelated cases have played a key role in this case. But the prosecution argues they don't plan to use the agents as witnesses. Now, on the other side of things, Judge Jonker did rule the jury could hear about the defendant's criminal histories after the prosecution argued the information could help prove they were willing to commit the kidnapping and were not entrapped as their defense suggests.
And that was Jason Scott, WSGW News 707.
Are you a farmer or rancher in the U.S. interested in a new revenue stream that is guaranteed for 10 years? Agoro Carbon Alliance's national team of carbon farming experts can show you how by implementing simple practice changes like no-till, cover cropping, and grazing management. Contact your local on-the-ground Agoro Carbon agronomist by visiting agorocarbonalliance.com. Agoro Carbon Alliance offers farmers and ranchers across the U.S. a new revenue for 10 years with upfront payments for simple practice changes like implementing no-till, cover crops, and grazing management, providing local on-the-ground agronomic support backed by a national team of carbon farming experts. Start your carbon cropping journey today at agorocarbonalliance.com.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. Google is joining Ford Motor Company's effort to transform a once dilapidated Detroit train station into a research hub focused on electric and self-driving vehicles. Ford also announced today that Detroit and the state agreed to provide infrastructure and other support for the Michigan Central Innovation District that includes the defunct train depot and other nearby buildings in the historic Corktown neighborhood just outside downtown. Ford announced plans for the Michigan Central Innovation District in 2018, shortly after it bought the train depot. Ford Motor Company Fund President Mary Culler says renovations at the more than century-old Michigan Central train station could be completed by next year. Ford plans to research, test, and launch new mobility solutions there. Winter is changing across the Great Lakes region, and scientists to know what that will mean. Teams from more than a dozen U.S. and Canadian universities and government agencies will venture onto the frozen surfaces of all 5 lakes this month. They'll take water samples from beneath the ice and measure characteristics such as light and nutrient levels. Researchers acknowledge that most of their work on the lakes happens during warmer seasons, and they don't know much about what goes on in winter. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your Weatherology forecast. We'll see cloudy skies here for today with a high into the upper teens. Winds out of the north around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy sky conditions, a low around 2 above. By Saturday, mostly sunny, high around 22 degrees. And on Sunday, partial sunshine develops. We'll see high around 30. Monday, mostly cloudy skies, high around 28. And on Tuesday, we'll have mostly sunny sky conditions, high of 32 degrees. Wednesday, cloudy, high around 36. And Thursday, cloudy, high of 32. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 11.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning and welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis from my Saginaw Spirit Home Studio. Focus brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax, remember, it has 2 X's. There's a big event coming up, sponsored by the Rotary Club of Bay City. We're going to find out about it today and what the Rotary Club will use the funds for. And with us this morning from the Rotary, we say good morning to Paul Weezy. Paul, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well. Thanks for joining us today. I was intrigued when I heard the name of this, the Rat Pack. Tell us all about this event and how it came about.
Well, actually, this is the first annual event. So my wife and I were married in June, and we were out in California and then went to Vegas on our honeymoon, and we saw the shows were coming back, and we're big Frank Sinatra fans, and they have a Rat Pack show in Vegas that we had scheduled for tickets, and we're lucky enough, a week before that, you couldn't have saw them. We got to see them. We just loved it. They had like a 8-piece orchestra. It was kind of a smaller, quaint venue, gardens in Vegas, and these 3 amazing impersonators doing Frank, Dean, and Sammy. Well, the show was great. They did the whole shtick that you would have seen on TV in the day, and we're big jazz fans and Frank Sinatra fans. So we get done with the show, and we're having a drink after that, saying, it would be so awesome to bring something like that to the Great Lakes Bay region for a fundraiser. And that's where it all started. And I started researching in the next day for some of the best impersonators in the United States. And the one that kept coming up for Frank Sinatra was the gentleman out of Cincinnati named Matt Snow. And he's been doing it for over 30 years. And I reached out to him that day, and he called me right back, and my wife was laughing because we had probably an hour conversation, developed the thought process of how this fundraiser was going to go. And actually, interestingly enough, so my company, the Superior Insurance and Northway Insurance, and my friend Kyle Henris of Henris Wealth Solutions, we decided to start this charity event and pay for the event. So we're going to split it as the main sponsors. And then the Rotary Club, which I'm the president of for Bay City Moon Rotary Club, they have a foundation, the Bay City Rotary Club Foundation, charitable foundation, and we basically picked that charity this year to donate the funds to. So that's how it all started, and basically came to fruition.
I have to ask this: you found the Frank Sinatra interpreter. and you talk to him, is he bringing other rats with him?
He's bringing a 17-piece orchestra.
17?
Wow. We're doing a 17-piece, 17-piece orchestra. Dean is from Baltimore, and Sammy Davis, Jr. impersonator, is from Vegas, and they're all flying in the night before, and the event's on February 19th. Yeah.
I'm glad the Rotary Club has sponsors like you guys, because I don't know how they'd afford it otherwise.
Yeah, it was well, every year. So what we're going to do every year, Art, is this is going to be an annual event. So my company and Kyle's company, so Henrith Wealth Solutions and Superior Insurance, is going to pick a different charity every year.
Oh,
fantastic! So this is something we decided to do for the Rotary Foundation, and the Rotary Foundation's charity does some great stuff with grants for youth and education in Bay County. So they do a ton of education. It has to be something that they can see some long-term results for, and they give away grants twice a year, and we're going to take all the money for the tickets that the event's paid for, and if a person buys a ticket, it's $200 for the seat, but that includes their meal, and then basically almost a 5-hour show with 2 hours of music during dinner and cocktails, and then a 3-hour Rat Pack show with the 17-piece orchestra. Yeah.
Well, let's just before we forget, tell everybody where and when.
So it's February 19th from 5 to 10 at the Doubletree in Bay City at One Winona Place there, right down on the river. We have the entire ballroom rented out. We are not sold out. We've got roughly over half the tickets sold. And the thing I want to really emphasize is that all the money, if you make your check out to the Bay City Rotary Charitable Foundation, goes directly as a write-off as well. But even if you don't care about the write-off, then you could write
so you
$2,000. Go ahead.
You as the sponsors, you're not getting your money back. You are paying for the event.
100%. We're paying for the event. We're doing this because we think it's a good thing for the Great Lakes Bay region.
Man, that's huge. That is huge, Paul. Hang on, I've got to take a break. We'll come back and tell you more about the Rat Pack on the 19th of this month at the Doubletree in Bay City.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home? Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering 23 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's been fueling area homes, farms, and businesses since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
Go forward with Forward Energy.
Keep the Saginaw in mind while you're shopping for special gifts this year. Visit our website to purchase a membership. Make it a wild year and bring a gift from the zoo to your little ones. Stay connected to what's happening at the Saginaw Children's Zoo by visiting our website at SaginawZoo.com.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you do? RocketGrabPlus.com.
Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals going on right now from Nom Nom Ninja, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? You bet. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation? Navage, and should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit inspiresleep.com to learn more.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the midden.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information. Wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, 100.5 and 790 News Radio WS.
Hi, we're back with you here on Focus, talking to Paul Weezy about an upcoming event called the Rack Pat Gala for the benefit of the Rotary Club Foundation in Bay City. And again, I need to talk just a little bit about the pricing, because $200 obviously is not an inexpensive ticket, but all of that money is going to go for the foundation's projects.
Correct.
That's
the best part about this, Art, and the thing that we want to do and continue to do. You know, we all and all the stuff and the people wanted to get out. It's Valentine's Day week, you know, and I don't want people thinking that this event is for us to pay for it, just to have a good time. We really wanted to sponsor this. Obviously, we do get some, you know, sponsorship. People get to see who we are as a company.
Sure.
But it wasn't about that. And I always said to Kyle and my wife, you know, I don't care if we get one client from this. It's about helping local charities out, and we're going to continue to do that. And the event is black tie. You know, it is evening gown. Obviously, a suit will work too. You know, we have all the high-end linens. We've got all the 60s and 50s themes that each person, the table you'll sit at will be like named the Frank Sinatra table or the John Wayne table. The food is all high-end Italian, so we're trying to do the whole Rat Pack theme with the Italian side of it. We're going to have high-end beef, high-end chicken, and a vegetarian option. All this, again, though, if you choose whatever you choose, is, you know, paid for by us, and that money goes directly to the foundation. So the only thing you'll have to pay for when you show up is your drinks. That's what.
Yeah. Let me ask about how you organize this thing. I mean, do you have a committee? Have you put together a group? Or is it you and your buddy?
Well, it was basically me, and I'll have to thank. We have some really good people in our Rotary Club that. One of them, Kate Noel of UMES, her company that she has basically offered to build the website and to build the registration for free. So we've got that was their portion, because they weren't going to be able to get a table, but they said, "Hey, we'll do all this for you."
That's great.
So we have a website, therat.live, and if you go to that, again, it's theratpackgala.live. You can register there online. You can do individual tickets or sponsor a table.
And all of it online. Again, the event is the 19th of February, coming up in just a couple of weeks. And still tickets available, $200 a piece or $2,000 for a table of 10. That math works out pretty easy. It's pretty simple.
Yes, I didn't want to make it too complicated.
So when do you start thinking about next year?
You know, we've already had people approach us because they believe in this so much about their charities. So we're willing to listen to communities. We want to pick the right charity every year. You know, we want to make sure that we're helping the charities that need it. We feel like that need it. And we're already thinking about it, because honestly, I already booked this week for next year in February. We're going to continue to do it.
And who's going to be the act, or are you going to continue the Rat Pack theme?
I think we're going to continue the Rat Pack theme because this year, with all the stuff going on, this is so unique, and people love to get dressed up. But these guys, it's a great show, and they're going to continue to revise and improvise. We'll run it for a few years and see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, Paul, listen, I want to thank you, first of all, for putting your money, you know, it's often said, put your money where your mouth is, and you certainly did. And it's a great fundraiser for Rotary. I was involved in Rotary for 20 years. So I appreciate all those efforts. And we wish everybody go to the site, the rackpackgala.live, and buy yourself a ticket or two. Paul, thanks a lot.
All right. I appreciate you having us on. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thanks a lot. We'll do it again. Take care. Bye-bye now. And again, the Rat Pack Gala Live, the ratpackgala.live is where you'll find ticket information. February 19th, the date of the event. Sounds like a blast. We'll be back to close out and move on to the market report after these notes.
It's been a challenging year. Asking for assistance isn't always easy.
Thank you for calling the Assistance Center.